What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. I'm your host, Mark Izzo, and alongside me, your other host, Dillon O'Brien. Dillon, how you doing, bud?
Doing all right. A lot to talk about. SummerSlam was um very interesting, very entertaining. Really excited to talk about it.
Yeah, so before we get into SummerSlam, we have to handle some business. If you haven't already, follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and our newly created TikTok at The Burnt Hammer. All of those are at The Burnt Hammer. You can follow Dylan on Instagram at Dylan O'Brien 714. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Mark Izzo _wave. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube. If you're listening to this through Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening to it, subscribe, follow, and leave us a rate because that apparently really helps. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. And with all of the business stuff out of the way, WWE SummerSlam, Saturday night, and it was a good one. It was the first show officially under the Triple H regime, and it was also the first show that was listed at TV 14. So basically, we're going to go over the entire match card, everything that happened. We'll give you our thoughts on each match, and we will grade them as well. So, starting off was probably the second best match of the night, which was Bianca Belair taking on Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Dylan, what are your thoughts on this match?
All right, so I actually had this as the highest graded match for the night. This was my favorite match of the night.
Okay.
Just like all together. First of all, like Becky and Bianca are like they're just like I don't know, like they're like kind of just on like such another like level compared to like so many other wrestlers. Like they're just like they're in their own world. And uh from the beginning, like from the jump, I think that this was my favorite match between them. Um I think that this was probably their best match between the two of them. I like wrote down a like the they always do it, but they're chain wrestling that entire time. Like they make botches look good. I remember I wrote
Yeah.
that down because like throughout their chain wrestling, like I noticed botches and but they made it look good somehow. You know what I mean? Like it just made it look
Yeah.
like it was just oh, and the diamond dust that Becky hit, I don't from the top rope, that was insane. You know what I'm talking about? That like the front
Yeah.
flip cutter. Yeah, that was sick. Um Another great part of this match was Byron Saxton said that Becky, or maybe it was like Bianca's going for the home run or something, and Graves said that would be a touchdown. Said like he said she's going for the home run, but they were in a football stadium. Um, so once again, Byron Saxton. Um, Dude, the finish to this match was amazing.
Yeah.
The Spanish fly into that KOD was like probably that might be the best KOD I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Honestly.
that's something that I like immediately noticed. I don't know, like I think it was because she just like held her up in the air like directly like vertically for like what felt like forever. And
Dude,
like
and she
'cause
slammed her
usually
so fucking hard.
yeah, cuz I feel like usually she just does it and like just tosses her off, but like I feel like that time she was like woo woo and then she was like in the air and then like she paused for a second and just like slammed her down
Yeah.
on the mat. It was
No,
awesome.
yeah, it was insane, and it was like emphatic too. Like the
Yeah.
way that it was like it was nice when it was like I don't know, it's very you knew it was over after that. Like not just
Yeah.
I don't know, just like you knew that there was no way that this was about to be a near fall just from the way she slammed, if that made sense. Like the emphasis on the slam. It was probably like I said, it was probably the best KOD I've seen Bianca hit in a really long time. Not that she like doesn't hit them well.
You could tell
But
that one was different, and
yeah,
even
that one was like
the
yeah,
announcers picked up on it too. I think it was
yeah.
Graves. As soon as she hit it, he was like, "That might have been the best KOD I've ever seen."
Yeah, no, it
Like,
definitely
it
in
was
my
insane.
opinion, it was. And dude, and the way they set it up, like the Spanish fly into the it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and then I mean, and then you had they shake hands. Both their gear was sick. They both have great gear, but
Did you see, that
SummerSlam especially.
yeah, Becky Lynch, she was working through a dislocated shoulder junior.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Here, I'm about to share my screen. I didn't realize this, during the match. I didn't, see it at all, but
Oh, is
apparently,
this where it happened in the match?
um, I don't know if this is where it happened, but, I just thought we should bring it up because it's pretty nasty. I mean, take a look at it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ew, dude. Oh my
Um,
god, get it off.
which is like it's
Holy
crazy
sh
because you couldn't tell. I had, like, no idea that she was hurt during the match or anything like that, so, I mean, it's good on her for being able to continue being able to continue with that injury, and B, like, not losing a step during the match and making sure that, Belair and everyone involved in the match is safe because that's something that I feel like doesn't get talked about a lot with, like, wrestlers when they're injured. Like, yes, it's cool that they finish the match, but you don't want them to, like, finish the match with an injury if it's gonna put their opponent, at risk for them to get
Yeah.
injured too, but, I mean, that's insane. I didn't even know that during the match.
I mean, I'm sure it got popped back in obviously during the match. It had to.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way she just like walked around with but um yeah, I think that this was their best match, and then immediately followed and then we got the Bailey return, which was huge. Everyone, this was something that I don't want to say it didn't mean we were any less excited for it, but it was something that, we're a little bit not expecting, but like we could definitely see it coming. But what we did not see coming at all was Bailey to be. First of all, I want to say this real quick. It's so good to see Bailey. Just like to just, you know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
like one of the most talented wrestlers on the planet, and she's been out for a really long time. And it's really good to have her back in WWE. This is like I'm loving the new look as well. Whatever she was
Yeah.
wearing, it looked really sick. Um, but what but as I was about to say, what we weren't expecting at all was Bailey to be joined by Dakota Kai, who was a free agent to our knowledge. Um, and it obviously looks like she's signed with WWE, and Io, formerly known as Io Shirai, now Io Sky. Um, and looks like them three uh came up to the EO and Dakota joining Bailey on the main roster in this faction. One that like automatically is like this can go down as like one of the greatest female wrestling factions immediately. Just like the talent alone in this faction between the three of them. Um Apparently EO Sky is in line for a really big push. Apparently that, and like obviously we know from the jump you see Triple H making his impact on this pay-per-view. Everyone knows like Triple H obviously has a really good relationship with Io Sky, Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai, and immediately bringing them up to the main roster and putting them with someone with the respect on the main roster like Bailey, and the entire segment, match front to back, the entire thing got an A+ from me. It was my favorite like overall segment of the night. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's funny because I think, like you said, a lot of people were anticipating a Bailey return, and then even after the match, once Bianca won, and then Becky came in, and then she like went to shake her hand. I was like, oh, Becky's just gonna like turn on her, and then they shook hands, and then like that was pretty cool. And then Bailey came out, and I was pumped. And then like
Mhm,
Dakota Kai came out, and then like I was really pumped. And
mhm.
then Io Shirai, now Io Sky, came out, and it was just like, "Oh my god, like, what is going on?"
Yeah,
And it's funny because, like, we were talking about how Triple H was gonna make a statement with, like, Johnny Gargano coming back, but I think he
yeah,
made that statement with Dakota
with
Kai,
Dakota Kai,
coming
yeah,
back. And, like, people
absolutely.
might not think it's that big of a deal, but first of all, like, Dakota Kai coming back, she got released, from the company, but her coming back, willing to come back under Triple H in his regime is like a big deal. I think getting that first former NXT wrestler is a big deal, and I think it sort of sends a message to the other wrestlers that got released or maybe are in a different company that things are changing for the better. Also, apparently, it's been reported that Vince McMahon turned down the idea of this faction with Bailey, Sky, and Dakota Kai.
Yeah, which is fucking insane, dude.
Doesn't
Fuck.
surprise me. um, Also, Becky Lynch turned babyface, which was nice. And
Yeah,
apparently, Vince McMahon didn't want Lynch to turn babyface either. So you could see the Triple H effect immediately, the very first
yeah.
match, calling
Well,
up
and
Io Shirai
mhm.
and then bringing back Dakota Kai and then having them two on the main roster. And like going back to what you said about being like a dominant female faction, like when's the last time we've gotten an all female faction?
I mean, like, you see it right now with, in NXT, but on the main roster?
It's like it's been a while. One that's gonna
No,
get
yeah.
taken seriously, like
No, yeah.
I'm pumped for it. I think it's something
No.
we don't get enough of is an all female faction. And
No,
I
not
think
at all.
that um
Honestly, it really is probably Triple H, like, looking at I don't know why I'm, like, drawing a blank. What are they called in NXT? Mandy Rose's faction.
Toxic Attraction,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
Toxic Attraction. Like, Triple H is probably just seeing how well they're doing, you know what I mean? And seeing
Yeah.
like, this is essentially just, like, no offense to Toxic Attraction, they're doing amazing things, but, like, this is essentially, like, if you could remake Toxic Attraction with, like, your first 3 picks, these are the 3, you know what I mean? And it's like, not that I have any problem with Toxic Attraction, I'm just saying. It's, but I'm saying they probably see the success there and, um, decided it's time to do it on the main roster and, dude, I'm so and the Raw women's division just becomes must-watch TV immediately, just by getting those 3 back.
Yeah. And I think another thing that this is gonna do is potentially bring back the women's tag team titles on
Mhm.
the main rosters. The thing that Sasha Banks and Naomi, they relinquished them. They walked out of Raw a few months ago, and WWE announced that they're going to hold a tournament for it, and they have not announced a single thing since then. And I think that was back in what, May, maybe May, April or May, I think. So I could
Probably.
see them. I mean, I trust Triple H fully to be able to bring back those women's tag team titles and bring back some dignity to them. I think having a women's faction like this opens up a great team to be able to do that. You know, like referencing Toxic Attraction, that's something that they did. They had Mandy Rose as the women's world champion, and then they had the other two wrestlers who I'm drawing a blank on their names, but they were the tag team champions. So I could see Bailey being the head honcho, sort of going after the world titles, and then having Dakota
Well,
Kai and Sky chasing the tag team titles if they bring them back.
it looks like, Sky is gonna be the one who's next in line for the push.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's what, last night she had a match with, Belair, right?
yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, and, but apparently, like, I read that they're really looking to push her. Like, that it's
You
probably
should.
gonna be yeah, that it's
I could
probably
see
gonna be
them
her.
because there's been reports that
And
now I
we
don't
all
know
know
how
like, Triple H has his favorites, and she was one of his favorites in NXT, and, like, rightfully so, you know what I mean?
yeah, and so what there's been reports that Naomi and Sasha Banks have struck an agreement with WWE to come back. I don't know how true this is. WWE hasn't really commented on it or said anything about it. So, again, they're just reports, tread lightly. But it could be pretty sick to have Naomi and Banks come back to feud with like Bailey and Kai over because Bailey and Banks were the first ever tag champs. And apparently, like Dakota Kai and Bailey are like pretty tight because they
Mhm.
there's been some tweets that were like brought up that Bailey really praised Dakota Kai when she was in NXT and like wanted to wrestle with her and stuff. So hopefully they do that. Hopefully they bring back some dignity to the women's tag team division and the tag team titles. Hopefully we get more factions. Quickly, just pivoting to Monday Night Raw real quick. That match was awesome because after it, the chaos that ensued with all 6 women just going at it in the ring was pretty sick, if you ask me.
Yeah. It was a new contest, right? The match.
Yeah, because
Which is fine.
I thought that was a good way to do it.
No, yeah, which is fine. I was just wondering.
Yeah. And so if I'm gonna grade this, I'm gonna have to give it an A. Again, I really loved it. It's not a knock on it. But I'm just gonna give it an A because I feel like we can still get a little more out of these 2 women in what was one hell of a match. I'm pumped for it. I'm pumped for the entire women's division going forward. Now Raw got some serious wrestlers on the roster. I think SmackDown is going to need to step up their women's division. I think we're in line for a Charlotte Flair return sometime soon. And we'll get into the SmackDown Women's title when we get to that match. But next up is The Miz taking on Logan Paul, and what I said was my least favorite match, the one I was least excited for. As a matter of fact, I did water my plants during this match. I said I was going to do it. I tweeted it, and I did it. But I did catch some of it, and I will say Logan Paul was sort of impressive. I can't lie. I can't sit here and just, crap on the guy. He did make some pretty big improvements. He had some cool spots. A lot of people are giving him praise online. I don't want to give him that much praise because like you can tell there were some things that did look awkward, but it was definitely a big step up from his last match at what was that, at WrestleMania?
Yeah. So with this match, I guess first things first. Yeah, Logan Paul, like it's it was a fine. He did a fine job. I'm just gonna like go down my notes and like
Do it.
and you'll see what I mean. Like, the first thing I wrote down is that Champa looks so fucking stupid, and I can't stand seeing him wear like the shit that the Miz wears, and like the in those colors, like the Champa in that bright pink and green. It's just not
It was
fucking
rough.
working, bro.
It
And
was
it's like
rough on
I
the eyes.
love Champa and I love the Miz. I don't love them together, and they need or maybe I don't know. I just don't like what's going on. And Ciampa just looks stupid. He just looks stupid in that gear. I thought the Miz looked decent in it. I don't think Ciampa looked good in it.
I
That
think
was
part of that gear was like what MJF does every time he wrestles as at a pay-per-view is just like wear the most disgusting and ugly attire that he can because people will be talking about it.
yeah,
So I
that is
think
true, I
them
guess.
just being like wearing this disgusting pink and green is just like them just like trying to get buzz, and it's working
Yeah.
because we're talking about it. So um
Mhm.
I mean, and especially with like the type of like trunks that Tommaso Ciampa wears, like
Mhm.
it doesn't work. It's not like normal like trunks that are just like maybe would look good with like those colors, if that makes any
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. I just think uh yeah, you just like I was just like I just need this to end. I just need the Champa in the bright shit with Miz to end, preferably for me. The Miz is hilarious. I wrote that down. I don't know exactly at what moment I wrote that down. I'm sure he said something funny. Um, I wrote this down. The When the Miz hit like the code breaker thing from the middle rope,
That was
and
gnarly.
that was sick. And Champa was like, "That was awesome." And I don't know if you noticed that. Did you
No,
see
I
that?
didn't hear that.
No,
No, I didn't
yeah,
hear
bro.
that.
When you rewatch it, it was really funny. Like Champa was like in the corner, he was like clapping. He was like, "That was awesome," and it was just fun.
It
I don't
was,
know.
dude.
It was awesome. It was really funny. But that was a great moment. Um, I wrote this down while watching the match. Ciampa versus Styles needs to happen ASAP. And then it happened the next night on Raw,
Yeah.
which was really nice to see. But and we'll get into that later. We'll talk about. I don't want to get too much into Raw because I want to kind of give that its own thing. But and then at the end of the match, I wrote down Paul held his own in the match. He just needs so much character work if he's going to be serious about this.
Yeah. And I think something that, like, I said before that he can't be a babyface, but, like, if you watch the match, he came out, everyone's booing the crap out of him, but at the end of the match, everyone's, like, cheering for him. So, I think I don't know if it's gonna work in the future. That crowd was alive, but
Mhm.
I think he already has so much heat on him that he should just be, like, a babyface. And if you go back to,
A
like,
baby face?
what
You mean a heel?
I mean heel, excuse
Yeah.
me.
No,
Um,
no, you're good.
but if you go back to Raw, like, it's always interesting when you have the heels make a good point against the babyface for why
Mhm.
people shouldn't root for them. And Ciampa and Miz did a great job at that on Raw during, like, a backstage interview. They were just pretty much saying that, like, Paul doesn't take this business seriously at all, and that this is like everyone else's entire life. This isn't like some playground for, like, wannabe wrestlers to come in and, like, do their
Yeah.
thing. And, like, Ciampa was like, he's a YouTuber influencer, like, he's not a professional wrestler. And, like, they made some good points. Like,
No, yeah, they made some very good points. But like yeah, and like I said, he's really athletic. He's in great shape. Like he just and I think his gear looks good. Like I don't think he looks bad in the ring. I just think he needs a lot of character work. Like it needs to be more than just I understand that it's like he's Logan Paul, but I want a little bit more to his character than oh, I'm Logan Paul, the YouTube star guy, but I'm
yeah.
now wrestling. Like I want a little bit more depth, but we'll see. Um, I actually I gave this match. I was probably a little nice to this match. I gave it a B because I thought it was like obviously there's like a grading scale is all relative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like obviously I'm not gonna hold them to the same standard that I held Becky and Bianca to, but um I gave it a B because I just like the main thing was that I just I just need more character work from him, and I need um to not see Tommaso Ciampa wear those fucking colors anymore because he just looks so stupid.
Yeah.
And I love, dude, I love the Miz and I love Ciampa, and I don't necessarily hate them together. I just like I think I just want Ciampa to get a push as single. Like I just it just seems unnecessary. You know what I mean?
I think
That's more what it is.
the thing that bothers me about their pairing is, like, and this goes back, hopefully this is something that will change with the Triple H regime, and we already
Mhm.
did see it change on Raw, but, like, uh, WWE doesn't acknowledge any other professional wrestling company, and they don't even acknowledge NXT. Like, if you go back and watch NXT superstars get called up, they will not mention their title reigns or anything in NXT. So the thing that, like, bothers me about this duo is the Miz is like, I'll take you under my wing, rookie. Like, you had, like, this is like your first time wrestling, but dude, he's like an NXT veteran. Um, and the dude's like won championships in NXT, and
He's
he's
on
Triple
like the
H's
Mount
boy.
Rushmore. He's like on the Mount Rushmore of NXT.
Yeah, so, like, the fact that it's like he's being portrayed as, like, a rookie is, I think, what isn't working. And I think that they're just two completely different professional wrestlers, and they're two completely different gimmicks.
Yeah, I think that's the
That's what
main
doesn't work.
thing. Yeah, I just think that I love both of them. I just think yeah, and I just want Champa to get more just let him do his thing cuz he can do it. Like he doesn't need, you know what I mean? Like Champa can
Yeah.
just be left to do excuse me. Champa can just be left to do his thing. He doesn't need very much guidance. But overall I gave it a B. And I think probably move on to the next match at this point.
Yeah. And I gave it a B minus. I will say the thing that I gave it a B minus. Logan Paul did have some cool spots, I will say. He did have that senton off like the ring apron to the outside, which was pretty cool. And then obviously he hit frog splash onto the announcer's table from the ring post, which was pretty cool. But you could just tell with like some moves he was doing, they just looked a little awkward. But again, you could tell he put in some training. I think he did take a big step from his last match, and he is under a multi-year, multi-match deal with WWE. So this is definitely not the last we're going to see him. But now it's like, hey, what's next? You know, that's what is going to be interesting to see, sort of how WWE goes forward with Logan Paul. But I gave it B minus. Dillon gave it a B. And next up, we are moving on to the United States Championship match, which was Theory, Mr. Money in the Bank, taking on your champion, Bobby Lashley. Now, Dill, what are your thoughts on this match?
So first thing I wrote down was I don't know like what everyone I need to I probably should be a little more active on the Twitter the wrestling Twitter sphere. I don't really know what are the overall opinions of the new US title? Just like the way
Like,
it looks, like the design.
um,
Do you kind of have a better idea of people's opinion?
I think that when it first was revealed, now this was a while ago, but
Yeah.
when it first was revealed, uh, the opinion was like it's not the most beautiful title, but it's also not like the ugliest title
Yeah.
WWE's ever made. I think it was
People were
somewhere in the
happy that
middle.
it wasn't just a big W at that point.
Yeah,
You know what I
and I
mean? Like,
think they were just happy like it wasn't completely hideous.
yeah.
So I think everyone was sort of just like in the middle ground, like, all right, it's a decent looking title. It's
Yeah.
in terms of WWE, it's probably
Because,
ranks
dude,
somewhat
honestly,
high.
from the jump, I think it is sick. And I think specifically on Lashley, it looks so good. Like
Yeah, I
it
think it was built for Lashley.
yeah, it really does. Like, and then but really the only thing I wrote down was like that this was a short match. Hopefully a feud ender. And I think it will be. And I think Raw is obviously what am I looking for? Raw showed us that looks like it is the end of the Theory Lashley feud, and we're
Yep.
moving forward. Um, but the other thing I wrote down is Lashley is over as ever right now, and he really could be the one to return prominence to the U.S. title, and it looks like
Yeah.
we could be moving in that direction. Based on what happened on Raw, which is really nice. I'm really glad to see that a lot of my notes um, ended up like being some stuff that were addressed on Raw, which is something that usually doesn't happen. Um, so that was
Well,
cool. But
yeah.
I think the belt looks really good on Lashley. I gave it a C just because um, it was. I gave it a C because it wasn't anything special, but it did what it had to do. Got the feud over, whatever. Lashley, like, right guy won, and Lashley is over as ever right now, and that title looks so good on him.
Yeah, I gave this match a C plus. I think that, like you said, it did what it had to do. It was nice to see Lashley just humble Theory
Mhm.
in this match. It was pretty short, but that's because the Miz and Logan Paul apparently went too long. And another match got cut due to time, which we will get into once we get to that match. But
What match got cut?
due to time, well, it got shortened, not cut.
Oh, all right. My
Um,
bad.
and so I love Bobby Lashley. I love him as a babyface. Like you said, he is extremely over right now. I'm happy that this feud is over, as we saw on Raw, and I think Bobby Lashley is the right man to bring some prominence and prestige back to the United States Championship. It's always sort of been like a workhorse title, and I think putting it on Lashley, who's just a freak of a specimen, is definitely the right call.
Hell yeah. Agreed.
Um, yeah, so hopefully the future is bright for Lashley and the United States Championship. Dillon gave it a C, I gave it a C plus, and we are moving on to the next match, a match that I was looking forward to, but I'm interested to get your thoughts on it. I have an interesting take on it. So that is the Mysterios taking on the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest. Dylan, what did you think about this match?
So I wrote down, I think it was a solid match, but it needed the Edge return. Like, if it didn't have the Edge return, it would have. I gave it a B, but if it didn't have the Edge return, I definitely would not have given it a B.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it needed the Edge return for sure.
Yeah,
Edge
I
looked
think
awesome. But yeah, it needed the Edge return.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was pretty disappointed with this
Yeah.
match. I gave it a C, which I
Mhm.
thought was pretty generous. Um, it was a no disqualification match, but you couldn't really tell. And it was funny because uh I was like on Twitter during the matches because I do live tweeting during the shows that I watch. Follow us at the Burnt Hammer on Twitter to catch up with all of our live tweeting during the matches. And people were saying like, why is the ref like enforcing rules when it's like a no DQ match?
Yeah.
Um, and I want to say for like the first half of the match, there were like no weapons, and then they just like brought in a chair. Like I thought for no disqualification matches, it was pretty underwhelming. And like I'm not saying it has to be a bloodbath, but like use something else besides like one steel
Yeah.
chair, um like you said, Edge looked awesome. It was pretty obvious Edge was going to return. From the vignettes leading up to it, there were clues in there that it was Edge. And then I think it was before the show, it was so clearly Edge because there was just like a figure that walked and you knew it was Edge, and he said it was I'm coming tonight. Came out um to a pretty cool entrance. I will say, I don't know. I don't think I like the entrance as much as everyone else did. It was awesome, but like I thought some of the fire like looked a bit odd to me, but I guess it doesn't really matter because Edge was there and he rocked. He came in. He who who won this match again? I can't remember.
Guess the Mysterios. Yeah,
Right.
it had to be.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on this right now, but
Me either.
um, let's just commit to the Mysterios and hope we're right.
Yeah, I think it was Mysterios.
And then after the match, Judgment Day, they were just kicking the crap out of the Mysterios. First of all, Rhea Ripley is awesome. We said it last week. Her just like beating up Dominic Mysterio every week is so funny to me for some reason.
It is.
I don't know why, but it's just hilarious. And I could watch her kick the crap out of Dominic every day. So here's a I have a question for you. Is Logan Paul a better wrestler than Dominic Mysterio right now?
They're probably on the same level. He's in better
All right,
shape. Give it that.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Um, dude, I think I'm gonna look it up real quick, but
Dominic's not great.
I would say he sucks. Um, and there's this website that
He
grades
sucks.
wrestlers, cagematch.net. It's sort of like a database for professional wrestling, and like their grading system, it has like people grade wrestlers. So Dominic Mysterio right now is a 5.28 ranking for
Out of
out of
10.
100. Yeah, out of 10, out of 129 votes. And I'm just want to see what like Logan Paul is, if he's even on here. Okay, he's not even on here. So he's a 5. That's not good.
Yeah.
I think, dude, I swear to God, he's Eddie Guerrero's son. Every time I see him, I swear to God, because there's this picture. I'm gonna have to find it on Twitter, but dude,
Yo. You think it's like a real life thing?
dude, I swear to God. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can. All right, here's the side by side. Dude, he's got that hunch like Eddie got, dude. He's huge. He looks nothing like Ray.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm just saying, man. Okay, here's like a side by side with his mullet with Eddie Guerrero. So I'm not saying That's his son, but I'm not saying it's not his son until I see some paperwork. Okay, what did you give this match? A B?
I give it a B, but just because of the Edge return.
Yeah, I gave it a C. I thought it was seriously
It's
lacking.
like weird when I when I graded it, like I don't know, the match wasn't great, but I don't know, I was excited to see Edge. I think I might have. I think this match is probably not aged as well, but for me, I don't know why I gave it a B, but I'll stick with it. I guess I felt it at the time.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
guess I was very excited to see Edge.
yeah. I bet if you went back and rewatched it, you might give it a little bit
Yeah.
lower.
No, but I remember like specifically telling myself like when I'm grading, like I have to like I'm including like the EO Bailey, all that went into the grade that like I probably would
Yeah,
have given that an A, but that made it an A plus because of that. Like you know what I mean? So certain
yeah,
stuff
and
that
you have
wasn't
to.
necessarily yeah, obviously.
You have
But
to put that stuff in. All right, Dylan gave it a B. I gave it a C, and we are going to move on from it. On from what was a very underwhelming match to a match that I was extremely excited for, and that is Pat McAfee against Happy Corbin. Um, First of all, I'll say it. I love Pat McAfee. Always have. Always will. He will go down as the best signing in WWE. I will die on that hill. And um, he started the match off. They had a choir for Pat
yeah,
McAfee's entrance, just singing "Bum Ass Corbin,"
yeah, it was great.
and it was awesome. Um, I didn't realize that this match was outside until I started watching it, and apparently it was pretty humid there. Makes the ropes a little slippery, a little slick, and Pat McAfee almost lost it all during that one spot when he was on the top rope.
Mhm.
Luckily, he hit. I believe it was just like a splash. Um, but I thought I don't know. I thought it was a pretty decent match. I don't think it was the best Pat McAfee match that we've gotten, but I
Mm-mm.
also don't think it was a bad match at all. So I gave it a C plus.
I gave it the same exact grade, Mark. Gave it a C plus. Um, Michael Cole is a true pro, dude. Like that's I wrote down during this
Dude,
match. Um, I don't know, but it's just like Michael Cole is just and it wasn't just because of the Pat McAfee thing. Like just throughout the night, I realized it, but like Michael Cole's good at his job. He's really fucking good at his job, and
well,
like
dude, that's
as a child, I didn't give him enough credit.
well, it's no coincidence that this is the first show that I feel like Michael Cole really shined in a long time, and that's
Yeah,
because he didn't have Vince McMahon shouting in his ear the entire time. That
literally,
was
literally.
one of my favorite parts of the show was Michael Cole, dude. I
Michael
thought
Cole
he
was dude.
really
That's what I'm saying. I wrote it down. That's why I wanted to make sure I said like I didn't write it down right now because of something he specifically like said in that match. It was like he said something and I was like, all right, now I have to write it down because he's been so good all night. Like it really
yeah, I
was.
think
He was
it
great.
was I thought it was a really good dynamic of having him and Graves on for
I
this
think him
match
and
'cause
Graves is great, dude.
Um,
I didn't
Graves is
mind it
best
at all.
friends with Corbin. McAfee is obviously best friends with Cole. Um, and, I believe the line was Michael Cole said something in favor of Pat McAfee, and Graves went, I liked you better when you didn't have an opinion, or I liked you better when you weren't allowed to have an opinion.
Oh
And then
yeah, yeah.
Cole was like, that's changed. A lot has changed, referencing
Yeah, yeah.
Vince
I
McMahon
think
not
that might
shouting in his
I think
ear.
that might be the exact moment that I wrote it down actually.
Dude, I was like,
Where he was like,
yes, dude. Like, oh
where
my
he was like, a
god,
lot
it
has
was so
changed.
sick. That
Yeah,
was
dude,
awesome.
Michael Cole's great.
Um, I
And
think they
I
both
also like, dude, Graves is also great.
Graves
Like
is good.
I would that should be the A team in my opinion. That should be the team calling pay-per-views. Should be Corey Graves, Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole.
Yeah, I think, dude. because I'll be honest, I feel like Graves is really carrying that Raw broadcast
Bro,
team.
he's carrying it so fucking hard. Like, he's the only fucking one that people like.
I've never been big
People
on
liked.
Saxton, and I don't really like Jimmy Smith at all.
I don't really like Jimmy Smith. I can deal with Saxton as long as Graves is there to make fun of him. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, I think if you take Graves out of the equation, Saxton gets
Bro, if you take
a
Graves out,
lot
I
worse.
cannot deal with Saxton. Saxton's like the only way Saxton stays is if Corey Graves is there.
Yeah. I thought that McAfee, I don't even know what the move is called. It was like I thought he was gonna hit a Panama Sunrise,
Yeah,
but
bro, they botched it. He was
you think
trying
they
to
botched it?
at the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they botched it.
I don't think they
That's
botched it.
that's what I wrote down. I wrote down botched finish.
No, I think that's how they did it.
Bro, it was like it was definitely supposed to be a Panama Sunrise, bro.
I don't know. That's what
Or
I
like
thought it was supposed to be, but like,
bro, that's exactly what it was supposed to
you
be.
think he missed it that much?
No, I think that I don't think he missed it. I think like Corbin forgot to jump or something.
Well, dude, no,
Because he did it like a rollout pin kind. You know what I mean?
well, that's what I think. I think that's why it was on purpose because it was sort of supposed to be like a roll up because the Panama Sunrise, as we've seen him hit flawlessly before, it's like you stand on like the second rope, you essentially jump down, and the guy who you're hitting it on, his head is between your legs. So your thighs are between the dude's head, and then you like flip over to like land them on their head. But he jumped down and like his legs landed on Corbin's torso, and then he sort of did like a weird roll up. So
Okay.
that's why I think, because I mean it's a pretty big miss if he's trying to hit the head.
Yeah, I don't know. To me it looked weird.
It was
I
weird.
wrote down botched finish because I thought it was botched because I just thought it looked weird. Because it just, you know what I mean? I just didn't seem like a
weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Either way.
Well, it was
I gave
fine.
it a C plus. Oh yeah, we both said that already. Both C plus.
We both gave it a C plus. It'll be interesting to see how how they move forward from here. I just remembered on SmackDown that I think it was this past SmackDown that Corbin bought a ticket right behind Pat McAfee. Yeah. And he had a sign of Pat McAfee's mugshot on it. He just kept like throwing popcorn at him. That was awesome. But
what did
anyway,
he say? He was like, I have to fight him now.
Yeah, dude. Corbin came in, and then Michael Cole was like, all right, now, Pat, you're going to face him on Saturday. Don't do anything stupid. And he's like, Cole, I have to fight him now. I have to fight this guy. Yeah. And he just like kept throwing popcorn at him.
Yeah, bro, so they're the best. I have to fight this guy.
And then he's just like, who the hell gave him a ticket? How did he get a ticket here? It was so funny.
Yeah, no, they're great, bro.
All right, and then after this match, we had an interesting promo from Drew McIntyre. He came out to talk about how he's going to face the winner of the main event, Brock versus Roman, at Clash at the Castle. Essentially, he put over a random fan in the process. I don't know. Did you grade this?
No, I didn't give it a grade. I just like wrote down that.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't give it a grade or anything, but I just wrote down that the joke he made about Brock versus Roman for the first time ever. Just the whole thing where he put over for the first time ever in Nashville at SummerSlam in a last man standing match in front of Colt. And then everyone was going Colt.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was a good joke. Drew, yeah, good joke. Good segment. Good to see Drew. I don't know what else to say. All I really wanted to touch on was that was funny. There wasn't really much else to say about it.
Yeah.
Just cut a little promo.
Yep. And he is, well, I guess we'll talk about the winner once we get to it, but he's going to face someone at Clash at the Castle in September. I think it's on September 6th in Wales, which I'm pretty pumped for. Hopefully we'll see a really good card start to build up. But the next match was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match, which was The Street Profits taking on your champions, the Usos, the Day Ones, the Bloodline. Dillon, give me your thoughts.
Um, so I gave this match a B plus. I thought it was not the best match between these two teams. We've seen them put on better matches, but it was a good match nonetheless. And they're two of the best tag teams in the world. I said this literally aloud to myself right before Corey Graves said it, but I was like, Dawkins hit the Dawkins did the flip and then hit the spinning neck breaker in the ring. You know what I'm talking about? He did the
Yeah.
flip outside the ring and then came back in and hit the spinning neck breaker. And I literally said aloud, I was like, damn, they need to put some respect on his name, bro. He's good. And then Corey Graves literally said the same exact thing. And another really fun I thought Jeff Jarrett was pretty funny in this match. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do. Ford was funny in the beginning where he was like, did you see that? Where he was like, he said five.
I think so.
Yeah, Montez Ford was just like looked at Jimmy Uso and was just like, he said five. It was just like I don't know, it was funny. But yeah, I gave it a B plus. And I think it looks like we might be leading to a Street Profits breakup soon. And possible Montez Ford solo push. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this match a B. I don't think it was quite as good as their match at Money in the Bank, but I thought it was a pretty good match. I'm not sure why Jeff Jarrett was the special guest referee. I think there could have been.
Yeah, I really still don't. Is it just because it was in Nashville? Like I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It was very random. I feel like I would have liked to see Sami Zayn as a special guest referee, the honorary Oos. That could have been something that was pretty darn entertaining, but I thought this match took a little bit to really get to their pace. For like the first few minutes, I wasn't that impressed with it, but like as it went on, I started to get more and more invested in it. Usos won clean. I thought that was nice to see. I feel like that's something that we don't really get
Yeah.
that much, especially in WWE. It's just a clean win, and then you could tell Dawkins and Ford were sitting in the ring, and Ford was just staring into the abyss. Man, there was some things going on through his mind. And
He's
then
so good, dude.
he is
I
good.
feel bad for Dawkins, but he really does. Like I really do want a Montez Ford like solo run.
I think
He's
we'll
so
get it,
fucking
and
good, bro. We're going to, but I feel bad for Dawkins.
I don't think Dawkins is going to get left in the dust, dude. I feel like every time he wrestles, he shows that he can stand on his own as well. I just think he needs to lose those 2 headbands.
Yeah.
start. That'd be a good place to start. But
Mhm.
yeah, match was fine. It's pretty good. Gave it a B. You gave it what did you give it? A B plus?
B plus.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see sort of where the Usos go from here, where Ford and Dawkins go from here. I wouldn't be surprised if like Dawkins was the one to turn on Ford.
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting because everyone's talking about Ford, and then he could just be pissed that he's getting overlooked. But either way, I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else to add?
No, not really.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to the Matthew Riddle promo. I think I was in the bathroom for the start of this, so then I
Yeah.
sort of came out and I just saw Riddle in the ring. I thought it was I enjoyed it, honestly. I thought it was
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
enjoyed it. There wasn't much else to not much to say besides Riddle called out Rollins and Rollins showed up and then they fought each other until they broke it up. That's really all it was. Like but yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know why
Since
we should have just had the match, but it's fine.
yeah. Well,
We'll get it at Clash in the Castle though, right?
that's what they're aiming for, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was a funny gif going around of like when Seth Rollins was just like running to the ring, and then all of the officials were like chasing behind him.
Yeah.
It was super funny.
That's what, especially because he was like walking first and then he started sprinting out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Yeah.
And he like ran kind of funny. I don't know if it was just because like
No, he did run
the
funny.
suit.
It's because of those weird ass outfits that he wears.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I thought it was awesome just to see Rollins run down and just behead Riddle in the
Yeah.
ring. I don't know why they were like trying to get Riddle out of the ring. They acted like unless he jumped the barricades or something and like was there as a fan, but like him just being in the ring and everyone's like, you gotta leave. Like, I didn't really get that, but
Because he's not medically cleared to compete.
yeah, but he
or
can't
whatever.
cut a promo. He still works there.
I don't know. You know.
Okay.
Know how it is.
As a
Know
lot of
how it
things
be.
with WWE.
Yeah.
All right, I'm hyped for it. I think this did a good job at building to their next match. Hopefully, that will take place at Clash of the Castle. Although I wish we would have got Gargano versus Rollins. I still think this was not a bad spot. Moving on, second to last match, we have the the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which was Ronda Rousey taking on your champion Liv Morgan. Dillon, what are your notes on this match?
Incredibly short match. All I wrote down, I gave it a C. The only reason this did not grade lower for me is because the Ronda heel turn was necessary and it needed to happen. Fucking could have done it better than this. Can we please just let Liv Morgan win? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's
okay. I'm happy you're on my side with this because I gave it a C minus. This was the match that got cut short due to time.
That makes sense.
I think it could have been one of the 25-minute video packages that we got for every match, but I was really disappointed with this match. I know on like wrestling Twitter, which is like the most toxic community, everyone was like they liked the finish. I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't like the match. I begged them. I said, please just have Liv Morgan win clean. Like I don't like this whole thing that like she shouldn't really be champion.
Yeah, bro. I don't
stupid.
like it. Yeah. It's weird.
And I think like, yes, you could have had it be like that heading into this, but then I think she needed a clean victory to show I am the world champion. I deserve to be world champion and I deserve to be at the top of the women's division. It's not even like she like got in some offense and like it was a fair fight. Like Ronda just like threw her around the ring. Like it was, I don't know. I was pissed off watching it.
It was weird.
I didn't like the ending. I know a lot of people did like the ending. In case you missed it, the ending was Ronda had her in like an arm. What is that? An arm bar?
Yeah.
And then Liv Morgan was like standing up, so Ronda's shoulders were on the mat, and then the ref started to count, and then once the ref hit like 2, Liv Morgan tapped out, but the ref couldn't see it, ultimately giving Liv Morgan the win, ultimately pissing off Ronda Rousey, and then Rousey just kicked the crap out of Liv Morgan post-match, giving us a Ronda Rousey heel turn, which I have been saying is much needed. I think there's other ways to do it. I think they should have done it
that's
differently.
the only reason that this match wasn't a huge flop for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe it's just because, and maybe I'm just not big on Ronda. Like it could just be like my personal fandom. And I just like don't understand the like why every single like combat sports athlete gets to come into WWE and then just like be unstoppable. Like why doesn't somebody why isn't there someone who's like I don't understand why they don't make it a gimmick where somebody comes in and they're like, yo, like I think they should have somebody like Liv Morgan. Like I think it would be cool one day if like Liv like put on a clinic on Ronda and she was like, that's because you're not like you don't know, you know what I mean, like a chain like a technical pro wrestling like just like fucked her up and was like, because you're not like said some shit like that, like not even, it didn't even have to be between them, but just like a situation like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
they never do that. It's always the, oh, well, I am really successful at anything else, so this is going to come really, really easy to me. And
yeah. It
and I
sucks.
don't, yeah, no, it's just like, I don't know.
I've
It,
never been big on Ronda Rousey. I always viewed her as like the female version of Brock Lesnar, and like I'm not big on Lesnar. Um, but you know what really pisses me off? I don't know why it irritates me so much, but she does this thing in her match, and I'm gonna do it for you right now. You probably know what it is. You can describe to the people what I'm doing. Okay, get ready. She does like this. She'll go like you know that thing?
yeah.
I like I cannot stand when she does that. I don't know why it pisses me off so much. I think
Yeah.
it's so stupid. Um,
Um, I will say this about Ronda. I like her a lot more than I did for a while. Um,
yeah, I think I remember. Um, I think we probably watched her WrestleMania match together, and I thought she was impressive during that against Triple H and Stephanie. But
mhm.
I don't know. I feel like every she's. I think you like what you were saying before is like perfect to have someone come in and is like this like you're not a professional wrestler, like you're a mixed martial artist, but like
Yeah.
professional wrestling's different because I feel like every Ronda Rousey match she just like comes in, she does like those little hip toss things and just throws people on the mat, and then she just tries to like apply a submission every time. I feel like every Ronda Rousey match is the exact same. um I did not like this match at all. I hated the finish. I thought it made Liv Morgan look really weak.
Yeah, that's what bro, like, I don't understand how people think it didn't make her look weak. It made her look
I
weak
know.
as shit. She got fucked up the whole match and then lost. And you know what I
Yeah,
mean? She got fucked up the whole match and then shouldn't have won. Like,
yeah.
it's not even like
Yeah,
it wasn't even like a thing where it was like, "Oh, they both won." Like, no, she tapped out before she pinned, like, she should have
yeah,
fucking lost the match. Like,
yeah.
it
I
was stupid. Yeah,
it
really
the thing
stupid.
that really like bothered me was what I said before. She got in like zero offense, dude. She got her
That's
ass
what I'm
kicked.
saying.
Literally,
Like,
she got her ass kicked the whole match. It's
yeah.
insane. And she's the SmackDown Women's Champion, and you're gonna have Ronda come in and just kick her ass? Like, that's not how you do it. That's
Yeah,
not how
it
you
was
build a
weird. And who
champion.
knows, like, maybe they'll,
Where do they
I
go
don't
from
know.
here? Where do they go from here?
Well, isn't Rhonda's, like, big on Liv, though? Rhonda likes Liv, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think they're gonna have, I don't know. I think Liv's gonna beat her eventually clean.
I mean, that's how it has to happen. Uh I they did announce, I think it was WWE announced that Ronda Rousey, I believe she got fined a disclosed amount for attacking that
The
poor
ref,
referee,
yeah.
which is usually how that happens. I just think there's better ways to turn Ronda heel. With Brock out of the picture, with maybe if the head of the table is sort of coming to an end, hopefully in the future, we can get someone like Paul Heyman. I think she needs a manager. I think
Yeah.
that's a thing that she's gonna need. I think a manager and her being heel could be a really crucial piece for her professional wrestling career, and I think it could really benefit her. But overall, I thought C minus was a bit generous. I did not like this match at all, and I was pretty annoyed that it got cut short. Now, do you think since it got cut short that they changed it to like Liv getting her ass kicked? Like, do you think if it wasn't cut short, she might have like
I
held
don't
her own
know.
there?
That's what I was literally just wondering. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hopefully. You would think so. You would,
you can
you know
only
what I
hope.
mean?
You
Yeah,
can
you would
only hope.
hope.
All right, Liv Morgan. She retained when she shouldn't have. Ultimately, I don't think this is the last of it. I think, like you said, this will lead to Liv Morgan getting a clean victory, hopefully over Ronda Rousey. Um, And I think the I think this SmackDown Women's division, they've got some good wrestlers, but I think with the way Raw is shaped out now, that they need to get some more um, wrestlers on the SmackDown Women's roster. Give it a nice little refresh, a nice shake up. I think having Liv as champion is nice. So hopefully this will be a big commitment. And I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but hopefully this will be a big jump for the women's division is what I'm trying to say. So moving on um, to what, in my opinion, was the best match of the night. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me. It was pure and utter chaos, and that is the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. Brock Lesnar taking on the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, member of the Bloodline, Roman Reigns. Lay it on me. What do you got for this one?
My apologies for the yawn. I think that this was obviously we know was the 7th time they've main evented a pay-per-view against each other.
Yes.
Despite all that, I do think that this was the best one of those 7 matches. The most memorable to me, besides like the Seth cash-in, you know what I mean? Like I think Brock at one point almost ate shit. I don't know if you saw that when he like tried to jump onto the barricade.
I did see that.
Yeah, he almost fell, and
that he tried to do like his jump up thing.
Yeah,
and then the announcers are like, "That's only gonna piss him off more."
Yeah, I know.
It's like they're not wrong.
Yeah. I wrote down Brock is funny / dumb as hell. Just dude, like, he was just making me. I was just laughing so hard. He was just like just using like the pieces of the tables as weapons and shit. Like Brock was just grabbing random shit off the ground.
They
and he just fucking dude,
bro, he clocked him with the piece of the
dude,
table.
He hit him so hard in the
dude.
He hit him so hard in the head with it, dude. Like people were like, no, like that's what I was just watching. I was like, dude, Brock Lesnar is a fucking idiot. He's just like not in necessarily a bad way. It's just like funny. He's just doing anything.
The best part is that
it was a very violent match. Like they were just hitting each other really fucking hard.
Well, dude, the best part is like during a morning show before this match, Roman Reigns was like, "Man, like it sucks to wrestle Brock, dude, because like it just really hurts. It like really hurts to wrestle Brock. I hope this is our last match." And I was like, dude, in like a normal match, if it hurts to wrestle Brock, now you have a last man standing match.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like it's gonna be very painful for you.
Yeah.
I thought,
dude, it looks so painful. Like you literally just look. You just have to sit there and like try not to get like knocked the fuck out while he's beating the shit out of you. Like he just,
dude. I will say that table shot really stood out
to the
me.
Head.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, me too.
Blocked him, and I was like, "Holy shit,
dude!" He hit him so hard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, and when he picked him up and slammed him onto the little table that was onto the half of the dude, he slammed him so hard.
He's gonna fucking kill him. Like, and if you didn't see it, it was like Roman Roman put Brock through a table, and then it's like when the table broke in half, the leg was like put the table up at an angle.
Yeah, it was like an angle like this.
It made like an upside down V sort of.
Yeah.
And then what did he do?
Like,
how did he throw? What move did he hit?
All right, so it was like this. It was like a spine buster, I guess. Like it was like propped like this, and then he just picked them up and just like fucking slam. Like he was just, like,
dude, and the table like it didn't break or anything.
I know, it just like collapsed.
It was insane.
Yeah,
it was insane. That's another one. I was like, dude, it's like Brock needs to chill. He's gonna.
That was another one where I just wrote it down where I was just like, this match is violent as hell. Like, and that was also when I wrote down that Brock is just funny.
Well, dude, he
really was.
When
really
he drove the tractor down to the ring.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you like noticed it, but there wasn't much room from like each side of the entranceway to like the tractor. So like it was a tight squeeze getting that tractor down there.
Dude, and when he jumped off the front end loader and onto Reigns, like, when he
Yeah.
threw him down, he fucking grabbed his head and, like, threw him hard, like,
Well, dude,
I thought he was gonna go for, like, a cross body, because he was, like, relatively high up, like, you're higher than
he
you
was
are on the
very high up.
you know what I mean? Like, you're higher than
Yeah.
you are on the top rope, and he
Yeah.
didn't, he just jumped and just grabbed
He
his
did
head and
like
threw him. It was
he did
crazy.
he did like a weird like jumping thing. Instead of like doing a
Yeah.
move, he just like jumped at him and
Yeah,
like threw his ass
it
down.
was funny. It was like, "Ah." It was like that.
Well, did you see I didn't see this before, but when after Brock announced himself, he like threw the mic to Roman and Roman caught it
Oh,
so
yeah,
slick.
dude, it was so
Roman
crazy.
Dude, I gotta find it. I gotta find that clip.
Bro, it was
It was
fucking
so slick.
crazy. Dude, no,
Oh
I
my
know. It
god.
was like the crazy shit ever. That's when you knew that Roman was gonna
I was
win.
like, bro, Roman's on another level. If he's doing
It
that.
really was. That was insane.
Oh no, I hope I can find it.
No, I did see that clip though. He didn't even like move his hand. He just caught it.
Dude, he literally just like extended. All right, I
Yeah,
got it. I'm about to
yeah.
show it. Whoops. All right. Let me hold on. Okay. Dude, this is insane. It's so sick. It just shows you like Roman is on a different level right now.
Yeah. Yeah, this shit was crazy.
And then he winked at him. Oh my god.
Bruh.
So smooth.
That's my tribal
So
chief,
smooth.
dude.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I would like to point out my anxiety for this match was high for the entire thing, especially when they had the tractor parked up next to the ring because
Me too,
he
bro. I
like
thought somebody was gonna hit their head on it for
dude,
some reason.
I was literally like I was so stressed out because I don't know what like that part of the tractor is. It's
Mhm.
like a scooper or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like hanging over like a quarter of the ring. And I was like, dude, if like someone goes to run the ropes to that side, like they're gonna get beheaded. And
Yeah.
so like, and there was like angles of like later in the match when Brock was suplexing Roman like towards that tractor thing. I was like, dude, like it's getting like way too close to that tractor.
Mhm.
I literally thought Roman was gonna die. Brock came out of the gates hot. I was worried that he was just going to absolutely destroy Roman. That was something that I really took note of when the match started. It was like Brock was in control for like a lot of the match.
Yeah, he was.
He really kicked the shit out of Roman. The thing that stood out to me the most was Michael freaking Cole, dude. How
Mhm.
good was he on
So
call
good.
for this match?
So
He was
good.
insane.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. The whole this was a really good match. This was a really good overall, but like Michael Cole just on this pay-per-view stood out to me, dude.
Dude,
Just calling this
you
entire pay-per-view. He was great. That's what I wrote down. Michael Cole is a true pro.
Dude, and you could just tell the difference of like him not having Vince in his ear
Literally,
shouting
bro.
at him. You can tell how passionate he was.
Mhm.
And dude, he had one of the greatest
I love when he
lines.
calls Pat's matches too, just because he's like gets so into it. Where he's like, "Come on, Pat! Come on, Pat!"
Yeah. Dude, he had one of my favorite lines in this match. Towards the well, first of all, let's talk about Brock Lesnar just like putting half of the ring up in the air and
Oh
almost
yeah,
holding
yeah.
the
We didn't
ring.
even mention
Feel like
that.
feel like we
Yeah,
should
that was
talk
pretty
about that.
crazy.
Um, that was insane, dude.
Mhm.
Like insane. I was like,
I
and
didn't know
that's
what
what
I
like,
thought he was gonna lift up the whole ring at first. I thought what he was going to do was try to flip the ring on top of Roman
dude.
Reigns
Yeah,
to
that's
keep
what
him
I
down.
thought. I was like, bro, he like can't flip this thing because there's
Yeah.
like people everywhere.
No, that's what I was. Yeah, I thought that's what he was gonna try to do.
Um, and I don't know. I was like super stressed out. Also, when like the corner of the ring was just in the air.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great shot of when like because you knew it was planned because like Roman was in that corner and then he like rolled backwards out of the ring, which I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
was awesome. But like, dude, when he first pulled the tractor up and then he just like hit the ring and then he like slid the ring back like 10 feet.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, he's gonna fucking kill somebody. And then,
Yeah.
dude, and
Yeah.
then Graves had a really funny line. Cole was like, "Look out, Graves!" And then Graves was like, "He's gonna kill us," and he was like, I forget who he was. He was like, "I'm sitting in someone's lap right now,"
Oh
and
yeah,
it
he
was
was like,
just
"I'm sitting in Kid Rock's lap right now."
yeah, yeah.
Wait, what did
Dude.
Cole? What was the line you were saying? You were trying to
All right, so
say from Cole?
basically this was towards the end of the match, and then we'll get into what happened like right before this too. But I just wanted to really give Michael Cole his flowers. Um, Roman Reigns brains Brock with the title, and then Brock is on the ground, the ref's counting, and then Michael Cole is just like, "For the love of God, stay down, Brock, stay down." Brock gets back up, Roman brains him again, and then Brock stays down, and then um, Michael Cole is just like, to the ref, he's like, "For the love of God, count faster." And then Brock gets up, and then Graves was like, "He's not human. He's not human." And then Cole was like, "He's got to be bionic or something."
Oh
That
yeah,
was so funny.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
he's got
No,
to be bionic or something. That was awesome.
yeah. Cole
But
is
yeah,
awesome.
so then towards the end of this match, like Theory said he was gonna do, he ran down to try to cash in. Um, he didn't cash in. He attempted to, but Brock just like beat the shit out of him, and then
Oh, he
um,
Brock F5'd Heyman through
oh
the
yeah,
announce table. That was pretty
dude,
sick.
did you see that?
The
He like almost
F5?
put him on his head. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
he
Yeah, it
almost
was
killed poor
bad.
Paul, dude. Because I feel like usually when he hits the F5, he'll like push him up and then toss them, but like for Paul, it just looked like he just like threw him off his shoulder, but then his head like went like right into the thing. Like it
Mhm.
was poor Paul. There's also a really funny moment. I don't know why this was so funny to me, but like when Roman was just like braining Brock with everything, he grabbed the Money in the Bank briefcase and then
Oh,
just
yeah.
walked over to Theory and just like hit him with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, yeah,
He
that
was
was
just
good.
like laying on the ground like unconscious. Um, yeah, and then the Usos came out. They piled up the announce table, everything up on Brock Lesnar, ultimately pinning him down for 10 seconds and giving Roman Reigns a very big win.
Yeah.
Huge win. I believe, let me find the exact number. I saw someone tweet it today. It's been 957 days since Roman Reigns has been pinned. He has now been Universal Champion for over 700 days.
Yeah, if he
So,
gets, I don't know what the date is, but I think it's this month, actually. I think it's August now. It's a day in August. He'll hit 2 years.
yeah.
Um, he'll hit 2 years as Universal Champ, and that would make him the first person to hold the title for 2 plus years since Hulk Hogan,
Yeah. Um,
which is pretty
dude,
crazy that
it's
Cena or somebody's never done that.
yeah, and it just goes to show like A, the level he's at, and B, how much like WWE like knows what they have and they trust
Mhm.
him to be able to do that.
I think they're waiting for him to hit like that 2-year mark. I think 2 years is pretty because I think 2 years and that'll be the record for Universal title. No one will ever beat it, and then that's when you got to take the title off him and do the Rock Roman thing.
Yeah, and it's something that like you don't really think of, but who's gonna beat him, dude? Like that's the problem. When you book someone this strong, it's like who's gonna beat him? The only
Mhm.
person I could see doing it is like you need like a megastar like The Rock to do it, but then
No, but
it
he's not. The
things get
Rock's not going to win the title.
yeah, but I feel like at this point right now, who's a big enough like threat and star to him that's gonna be able to beat him, dude? He knocked them all down. There's no one else left. Like I'm supposed to believe that Randy Orton is going to be able to beat him. I'm supposed to believe that Cena can be able to beat him. Like I'm not buying any of that.
Cody, maybe.
Cody, I could see it if he like sort of like sneaks out a victory, but I don't know. I think that's just going to be a problem that I don't know how they're going to solve it. I don't know how they're going to separate the
Did you
belts.
see the Did you watch the What Culture? No, it wasn't What Culture. It was it was how like it was one of the Adams. the how WWE should book or whatever. He did
Yeah.
how to like dethrone Roman Reigns, and he
Okay.
did he wrote like he had it essentially, it was like fantasy booking, and he had it booked out to like um how to have Xavier Woods be the person to beat Roman Reigns. It
Really?
made sense, yeah. He like did it, and you know what I
I mean,
mean?
I love Xavier Woods. I
Yeah.
think he's
Um.
severely underrated.
Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna happen, but it was funny. But no, it made sense and it worked. I mean, like Kofi's won and now Big E's won it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
he's the only one, and like, and really, he's the heart and soul of the New Day. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's the brains behind it. He's the one who came up with the idea, and um. So anyway, that just went a little off topic, but I don't know who's gonna fucking beat him, dude. I really don't.
What did you grade this match? I gave it
I gave
a
it an A.
okay. I gave it an A plus.
Word.
I thought it was just slightly better than the Bianca and Becky match.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now we're going to get Drew McIntyre taking on Roman Reigns for both titles at Clash at the Castle.
I was
Theory still lurks in the background with the Money in the Bank. Go ahead.
I was just gonna mention. I know we planned on talking about a lot more, but we've gone pretty long, so I think that we should probably just keep it at this.
Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
cool.
Well, I guess I'll just briefly touch on
Well,
something. So
we
basically,
can briefly go over Raw too, just like what happened. Um,
yeah. So I missed the first half of Raw. I caught the second half. Apparently, they said Raw was supposed to be like a statement show, and they were treating it as if it was a Raw after WrestleMania. It was sort of like a refresh, a new beginning, new feuds, everything, which I thought was super awesome. Do you have any takeaways from this Raw?
one of my main takeaways is right away, Ciampa getting his Ciampa's the number one contender for the U.S. title. He will be going up against Bobby Lashley next week. He got two matches. He got two wins on Raw last night. One was a triple threat against, I can't even remember, and then he beat AJ Styles. And to become the number one contender, and it was just so nice. Like immediately we saw, like, when we knew Triple A. I think I said it like last time. I said I think you're gonna stop seeing Ciampa get these like shitty roll up guys like Ciampa. I literally said guys like Ciampa, and then what happens the next week on Raw? Ciampa gets two
Yeah.
wins in the same night and is now the number one contender for the U.S. title. Um,
Yeah, I thought he really shined bright in that AJ
oh
Styles match.
yeah, he
He
did.
was
It was a
awesome.
great match.
Like I know he can wrestle because I watched him a lot in NXT back in the day. But I think he opened a lot of people's eyes to the talent that he is. Did you
Yeah,
see the finish
dude, he's
to
one of the
the
most.
other triple threat match?
No.
Dude. Okay, I'm gonna have to
Oh,
find
no,
it.
no, yes, I did, yes, I did. Yeah,
The
the
Mustafa
450,
Ali.
yeah, the 450 into
Yeah,
the
that was
Styles Clash,
sick.
bro, yes.
That was
That was
sick.
crazy, actually. That was
That was
crazy,
awesome.
actually. Yeah, bro, that was, like, probably some of the that was one of the coolest shit I've seen on Raw in a long time.
Well, and look at Mustafa Ali getting
Yeah,
some good matches, dude. So I think it's going to be the start of a lot of superstars getting a push that they deserve. We saw the Mysterios take on the Usos for the tag titles. I don't know how or why they were granted that match. Nevertheless, it's not the same match that we've been getting for the past 6 months. So I'm completely fine and happy with it. I'm excited for Champa to take on Lashley next week on Raw.
definitely.
Um, I don't think that Ciampa's going to win, but I think he is going to put up a
But it's
pretty
good to
good
see
fight.
him just, like, get
Just do
and yeah, just to do
win
something, yeah, yeah. It's good to
and
see
just
him
like win.
wrestle, honestly.
Yeah,
It's good to see him be a
exactly.
wrestler.
Yeah. And then we saw Bianca Belair took on the now Io Sky in what was a really good match. Like you said, Sky's going to get a singles push. Putting her up against the Raw Women's Champion is definitely a big
Yeah,
deal, and it's a
so
good start.
this is the thing with Io Scott. So the reason they I think they're gonna push Io Sky is gonna get the singles push, and then Bailey's gonna still kind of be like the face and like the voice, because like, so there's no language barrier because
Yeah.
of and I think that's gonna be really good. Like for Io
Yeah.
Sky to have Bailey with her and stuff like that. The language barriers out. So when she's on like national TV and not like diehard, you know what I mean, more casual fans can see her and stuff like that. And it was awesome. She looked
Yeah.
great last night.
Yeah. And then the match was a no decision. We had the other members of the faction. They don't have a name for their team yet, right?
No, no.
I'm sure they'll come up with something pretty sick, but Bailey and Dakota Kai, they had a really cool moment where like they were on the outside of the ring apron, and then it was Alexa Bliss and Asuka came out to help Belair, and then they were on the other side, and then the two just entered the ring, and then everyone was beating the hell out of each other, and it was awesome. It was chaos, and I loved every single second of it. Edge came back with the promo. I feel like we should talk about this because he said asshole, which is the start of the T14 era, I guess. He came back.
Yeah.
He said
Back to
wanted
his
to
old theme.
apologize. Yep, back to his old theme. He apologized for being an asshole. He pretty much said that the reason he created Judgment Day, and then now he's going to be the one to end the Judgment Day, which I thought was pretty sick. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good Raw.
Yeah.
I usually catch the second halves of Raw, but I can never seem to finish them because they're just not good enough for me to finish. This one I watched all the way through for as long as I could because I just thought it was that good, and I think the future's bright for
Best
Raw
Raw
and
in a
SmackDown.
while. Best Raw in a while, for sure.
And so very briefly, I'm just going to touch on the AEW Dynamite card because if you're listening or watching, that means it's Wednesday and it's Dynamite night. So just briefly, a few things. If you ask me, this is a very lackluster Dynamite card, but nevertheless, I will still watch it and I am still excited for it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so Hobbs is going to be in action. I assume he's going to squash somebody. He recently turned on Absolute Ricky Starks after Starks lost the FTW Championship to Hook, which was awesome. After the match, Starks cut a promo and then Hobbs attacked him. We're going to see Hobbs in action. He's probably just going to kick the shit out of someone. We have Thunderstorm, which is Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa, the AEW Women's Champion, taking on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter. We have the first ever dumpster match between the Gun Club and the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed, Max Caster beat Austin Gunn in a rap battle, so then he got to pick what the match stipulation was going to be. And then they had a music video to reveal what the match was. It is a dumpster match. I assume it's going to be like a casket match. Anyway, I'm here for the Gun Club versus the Acclaimed. I think they are quite the entertaining duo of teams. We have the return of the Undisputed Elite, Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, Fish and O'Reilly. We see them for the first time in quite some time. Cole's been on the shelf with an injury. It'll be interesting to see what they have to say, sort of the dynamic of their group now. Now, trio titles. I feel like Cole's going to have to pick a tag team to try to pursue the trios titles with. I could see Hangman Page coming out and getting involved in whatever their promo is. You sort of have the Bucks with Page, and then you have Cole with Fish and O'Reilly. We have Orange Cassidy taking on Jay Lethal. Now, I know you either love Orange Cassidy or you think he's awful for the sport of professional wrestling. I love Orange Cassidy. He will never get old to me. It's nice to see him on Dynamite and wrestle someone like Jay Lethal. And then you have Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh always lurking in the background. You got Christian Cage taking on Matt Hardy. We recently got the return of Jungle Boy, and then we saw that Luchasaurus has then sided with Jungle Boy, ultimately leaving Christian Cage by himself, alone. And then Jungle Boy cut an insane promo. Did you happen to see that promo that he cut? I think it was last week.
I did not.
So basically,
I'll check it out though.
This is the first time that we heard from Jungle Boy, and all you need to know is he started off with he said, "Christian Cage, you are the biggest pussy I've ever seen in my entire life," and that set the tone entire promo.
Oh wow.
He said he went off, dude. It was insane. He said that the only reason because Christian Cage said he joined the Jurassic Express was because he needed money. He saw a big payday. Um, and Jungle Boy said that wasn't the reason. The reason was you were broke and your wife just divorced you. Um, so Jungle Boy took some personal shots at Christian Cage, which was nice to see after all of the insane and very personal shots that Cage has been taking at him and at other superstars. And then what I assume is going to be the main event, you have Chris Jericho, the leader of the Jericho Appreciation Society, taking on Wheeler Yuta, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, member of Blackpool Combat Club. If Wheeler Yuta wins, he gets Jericho's title shot, which I think it's in 2 weeks, or it might be 1 week from this point, which is taking place at Quake at the Lake. Winner faces Jon Moxley on August 10th. So it will be interesting to see. Overall, I think it is a bit of a lackluster Dynamite, but I am excited for it, and I think it is it's going to be a pretty decent show. So, do you have anything else to add, Dill?
No, that's it. Currently working on an article that is 5 minor changes Triple H can make to immediately improve WWE. Don't know if that's going to be the exact title, but we were going to get into it. I was going to briefly go over it today, but we talked a lot about SummerSlam and Raw, which is fine because they were the best pay-per-view and the best Raw we've had in a long time. So definitely can't complain about having a lot to talk about. But be on the lookout for that. Should be done. Should release that this week. And but besides that, see you guys next time.
Yep. So, if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Burnt Hammer. We're going to be posting a lot more on there. That's how you can stay up to date with when we release new episodes. If you're listening to the audio version of this, follow, like, comment, rate, whatever it is they do on your streaming platform. Do that. If you're watching it on YouTube, subscribe, like, and leave us a comment. Let us know what kind of things you want us to talk about in the future. I'm Mark Izzo. He's Dillon O'Brien, and this has been another episode of the Burning Hammer Podcast. Thank you for listening.